So I just want to talk briefly about the Ahmaud Aubery situation. First of all, it is a horrible thing that this man was gunned down in the street whilst jogging as if he was game on a reserve with an open season on hunting. That is a problem. But the fact that there were people comfortable enough to think that they could just kill somebody in broad daylight who was out taking a jog and get away with it. Or like that woman, if you guys remember a while back, what was she at McDonald's or some fast food restaurant, and a customer dragged her across the counter, and then he went on to say that as a white man, he was pretty confident that he could get them in trouble for the situation because the other participants were black. Or how a man could be in his own home, get murdered, and his killer get a hug from black people. Or how instead of taking up arms and saying enough is enough, the way that these protesters in the Capitol have done. So there's a difference between people who are accustomed to having their rights respected and people who have no expectation of having their rights respected. We see a protest looks different when people who expect their rights to be respected protest. You have these people out with guns on the Capitol, inside of state buildings, letting it be known that whilst we're not firing a shot, believe if you don't get in your place, we could fire a shot. Versus people who get together with a hashtag and a sign, or get on the news crying when they feel that their rights are being violated. You have people ready to toss whole states over being told to stay at home, and then other people who are being shot in broad daylight in the street and shot inside of their own homes, shot because they have a hoodie on, killed while in police custody. Nobody knows how or why. Who wouldn't know an armed protest if it slapped them in the face. So I just want to talk about Ahmaud in the light of the fact that that happened to him because black people are passive. Passive, and I'm sick of it. I'm just so sick of it. I've been very busy. That's why I haven't been posted on YouTube. But also, I'm like tick, tick, boom around here. I don't know what I will say. I have reached a point in my irritation and frustration with the passivity, with the ridiculousness, with the whining and complaining, with the inaction, with the inability to have the expectation that you will be respected, have the expectation that you will be safe. Have the backbone to do something other than hashtag, make videos, protest, and jibber jabber about something. I mean, I was pushed over the edge when I have black people regurgitating what they see and hear on the news as if the news has ever told the truth, as if they're anything but a propaganda and means to control the masses. I have a problem with the only people who are twisted about getting their constitutional rights violated are white people who go to occupy capitals with guns. I'm looking at these crowds, and you know the news will manipulate anybody who's not white. Oh, they're all white, white ring. They're all right wing. Oh, they're all racist. See their white faces? They've got guns and American flags. They're all racist. My question is, where are the black people outraged? Where are the black people with guns on a protest? Where are the black people in these states where you can publicly varnish weapons and have them in the Capitol, which you should be able to do? Because it's your capital, your tax dollars, your public servants. And when they need to be ousted, if they don't know how to get in line and serve, then they need to be capable of being removed. That is the point of the right to bear arms. That is the point of having a government controlled by the people. And that does include black people. That includes your right to not expect to go out jogging one day and turn up dead because somebody likes to hunt human beings in the street. That includes your right to eat a bowl of ice cream in your house without somebody walking in, killing you, and then having somebody look like you give them a hug. That includes your right to be arrested and survive being in the holding tank. That includes your right to wear a hoodie because they're comfortable without dying. Or to enter your own home, your own building, without somebody refusing to let you in and stalking you all the way to your apartment. I blame the death of Ahmaud on us. Because they become increasingly more radical, increasingly more dangerous, and they are that way. I see I'm not going to be able to do this. I see I'm not going to be able to make this video. In broad daylight. And they called the police on themselves. They walked free for 2 months. And they would have got a hug and a pat on the back too. Had they been able to get away with it. So I'm going to say this. Here's an unpopular opinion. It's your fault. It's my fault. We are passive. Passive. It's so disgusting. I'm so disgusted. I'm so disgusted. I am disgusted. We take up arms to escort a representative into a Capitol building who sat alongside a governor and was tweeting, I hope he says something about Flint. Who called helping the black community pushing a bill about hairstyles. We got guns for that life. But we don't have any guns for the killing black men in broad daylight, in the street, like you're hunting big game life. We don't have any guns for the I'm eating a bowl of ice cream in my lounge chair and some random person just walks in and kills me and then gets a hug life. We don't have any energy for the disproportionately incarcerated, used as slaves life. We don't have any energy for the violation of our overall rights life. We don't have weapons for that. We don't have armed guards for that. But we have armed guards to escort somebody into a Capitol building because they're black so that they can further trample on our constitutional rights? Y'all, this mess is twisted. You guys are fucked up in the game. Pardon my French. This is all our fault. It's our fault. I can't even be mad at the fools that shot this man down in the street. I'm mad that you guys don't know when to pick up a weapon and do something. I'm not talking about picking up a weapon and start slaughtering people. Don't get retarded on me. I'm just saying you don't even know what a proper protest looks like. You see that these people are oppressed about these armed protests in Capitol buildings and at the Capitols. They're pressed. Oh, they're listening. You know, the minute these people check it, the minute these people started getting their guns and going out to these Capitols, the minute they started doing that mess, all of a sudden you had all these stay-at-home orders being lifted. They're like, oh, we're gonna gradually open up the nation. We're gonna gradually lift these restrictions. Because if they don't, there's gonna be a problem. Oh, you forgot people were armed out here. Oh, you thought this was gonna go down without some pushback. You thought you were just gonna be out here violating people's rights all willy-nilly. You see how quick that about face happened? I have a video, which I don't know when this video is going to air because YouTube has been processing this video for 24 hours. 24 hours. YouTube has been processing this video that I just did on Sarah, what's her name? Oh, I can't think of it right now, you guys. The Michigan House rep for District 68 that got escorted in the Capitol building. YouTube is processing the heck out of this video. This video may never air. Okay. I don't know what I said and what the bot doesn't like, but this video may be a video that just, I don't know when it's going to come out. Heck, this video may not come out the way things are going, because honestly, I'm watching myself real closely right now. Look, here's the bottom line. I'm not even going to stay on here for an hour, 30 minutes, nothing talking about this. This is your fault. It's period. It's your fault. Y'all gonna be, oh, white people out there shooting people in the street. White people walking in people's houses and shooting. White. What do you do? White people. No, it's you. It's you. It's black people. Y'all are crazy out here. Other than the Seminole Wars and the Black Panthers, which the Black Panthers didn't do anything. The Seminole Wars, they were doing something, okay? Let's research that life. During the Seminole Wars, there was bloodshed. They were slicing and dicing people for almost 100 years. They were playing no games. How many games were we playing? 0 games. We had no games to play with y'all. But overwhelmingly, throughout the earth, black people are highly passive. What is it that was said in that medical journal held at South Carolina State? I did a video on it. The black man has never been competition to the white man. This is what this white man said in a medical journal. The black man has never been competition for the white man. In other words, black people, we don't have anything to worry about from these people. If history has taught us anything about black people, it is that black people are passive. There are a little couple smattering of them that might put a little fight in, but collectively they're not. That's why people are running amok throughout the earth. Just running amok. Took over Africa, running amok. Took over Australia, Fiji, running amok. Took over South America, running amok. Had some slaves in America, just running amok. Running amok. If we talk about specifically our history in this country, other than the Seminole Wars were the realest thing black people did in this country. The Gullah Geechee Wars were the realest thing that ever occurred. You're talking about unyielding massacre. 1739 to 1858. Just fighting. Non-stop. Until slavery stopped. But that wasn't most of black people. That was just a small group of crazy black people who were like, we are doing this. This is what is happening. What is my point? My point is that you have one group of people that'll take up arms just because you told them to stay at home. And another group of people who won't take up arms even if you're out in the street killing them like you're on a safari. With hunting privileges. They called, based on what I heard of the police tape, they called the police to say that they were chasing somebody and then proceeded to gun the man down in broad daylight in the street. And then went home and had dinner for 2 months straight. And the next time I see a black person with a gun is 2 months later, and it's not about Ahmaud. It's not about him. Okay. I don't see any black people with guns in the street on a protest about this black man that got killed in broad daylight. I see them with guns marching somebody into a Capitol building to further infringe upon your constitutional rights. Y'all, make this make sense to me. Help me understand. Y'all, maybe I'm missing something. Please help me understand how everybody's mind is working. I'm trying to put two and two together and I can't. We are always doing the right things for the wrong people, the wrong things at the right time. Like, it's confusion out here in this world. I'm just saying, take a step back. Can we make sense for once as black people? Can we have some self-accountability as black people? I don't even want to talk about what white people did right now. I want to talk about what you don't do. I want to talk about this mentality and this logic. I'm going to need us to dissect and understand this stuff so we can overcome it, because your passivity is why that man is dead. You know how Aubery was trying to get into his apartment complex and that white woman was all in his face and following to his apartment and all that? Why didn't he just smack her? Why didn't he just smack her? Why didn't he just push her over? Look, get out of my way. Just push her right on the ground. Why didn't he do it? Because he could have. He was strong enough, right? Number one, He knows that women are overwhelmingly protected in society. You can't just go around pushing women. You'll get punished. There's a consequence for that. He knows that white people are overwhelmingly protected in society. You just can't go around just pushing white people over. And because he's learned that there is a consequence, he went through that whole situation where this woman was basically harassing him all the way to the door of his apartment. What can we learn from this situation? Black people provide no consequences. None. We won't give a full narrow consequence for anything. And because there are no consequences for doing just recklessly crazy stuff to black people, people are getting shot down in broad daylight in the street, while their killers go and have a luxurious life for 2 months straight. That's how this thing works. Does anybody understand that that's how this works? You do understand that's how this works, right? You never give any consequences, so you're not safe. That's how this works. Some food for thought. Lack of consequences doth not good behavior make. And just, just some food for thought. Just make it all make sense, y'all. It's going to be your son, your husband next. Jogging down the street, getting hunted down like an animal. It's going to be your son, your husband, your brother next, whose killers go and have 2 months worth of breakfast, lunch, and dinners in their own homes and go to bed at night comfortable without near armed activists outside of their house. While some black men in guns walk a woman into the Capitol who just wants to help further infringe on your rights and can't get her mind right to do more than try to pass a bill about some flippin' hairstyles. Look, my ability to wear an afro at work is the least of our problems if people were out in the street just getting shot in broad daylight. Now, if you want to take guns somewhere and protest something, where were the 2 months worth of armed black people with guns in this person's neighborhood protesting the fact that they were free after shooting somebody down in cold blood in the streets? Where were those protests the past 2 months? How come the first time I see a black man with a gun protecting something, it's a woman who's going into a Capitol building to do nothing but infringe on your constitutional rights further? Y'all protect, what the hell kind of logic? Yeah, I gotta go. This is why you guys, I'm not even about to say 3% of what I really want to say. I'm just irritated, disgusted, aggravated, tired. I barely want to waste my breath with this conversation, just to be real. Did I say I wasn't going to be on here 30 minutes? What, we're 24 minutes in? Yeah, I'm gone. I'll talk to you people later. Mull it over. Chew on it, spit it out, per usual. This mess is ridiculous, though. I'm gonna say, you guys are like parents that never spank their children. Okay. I wonder why is Billy acting so outrageous? Well, Mom, Every time he bops you upside the head with his toy train, you just go, Billy, mommy's heads matter. Mommy's heads are important too. You turn over to little Susie. Little Susie, try to make little Billy stop. Little Billy and little Susie are on the same team. Why don't you pull out a belt? Make it all make sense. Look, make it all make sense.